Millions of migrants have invaded the United States, and now we are finally taking it back. Please make sure that you guys are subscribed. Thank you. This is what appears to be the child of illegals who has a message for us Americans.
What's up, fool? What you looking at, fool? What we do if I pull up to your block, fool? That's why I thought you won't do nothing, fool. You're scared of me, fool. Cause I'm a crazy vato, fool, and I'm really out here in these streets, fool. Fool.
Does he actually have the year that he was born tattooed on his face?
What we do if I pull up to your block, fool? That's why I thought you won't do nothing, fool.
The only thing that is remotely scary about this post is that Kamala Harris almost got elected. So his main concern every day is what other people would do if he pulls up on their block, because he's a crazy vato. What an absolute loser. I mean, this has to be the epitome of what it means to be a loser. It's actually devastating that this person's family worked really hard to go to the US and risked everything, because in coming into the US illegally, you are holding a gigantic risk of being deported, and that is the game that they are playing. So they risked their peace of mind for their entire lives just for their son to grow up and call himself a crazy vato. Please tell me I'm not the only person who has noticed the trend of the gangsterification of America's youth. We have people like Bad Baby and Whoa Vicky acting like they are just so tough and so cool, and I just don't. If you want another prime example of this, the Liberty Hangout YouTube channel went to one of these illegal deportation protests, and this is how the people responded. You guys can already see her back there pretending to throw up gang signs.
Why? Again? Guys, actually. You. I don't consent. I don't want that. I don't give a dumb bitch. You. You support a fucking racist pedophile. That's what the fuck you support. You're inhumane. You're inhumane. Yeah, okay. You're a bitch.
You're inhumane. You're inhumane. I mean, is that how we communicate with each other? Is that how we believe we are going to get our message across? By having a freak out? It's ridiculous because they're personifying stereotypes and embarrassing themselves. And if you were truly proud about where you came from, then you would have no problem with going back, living there, and actually embracing the culture. But instead, you want to live in the United States and then be angry at everybody else because they don't want you to bring your gangster-esque lifestyle to our communities.
You're a bitch. You're a bitch. That's not nice. Dave didn't do anything. Okay. Why are you so mad? Shut the f up talking to me. Why are you mad? I'm not mad. Why are you mad? Why are you here? I think it's fun. It's fun? Yeah, we think
I think actually Americans are asking the question as to why you are here.
Fun too. I make money off of recording you guys. You. That's great. I just want to let you know. You bitch. Shitty ass bitch. Shitty ass bitch. Shitty ass bitch. Stupid asshole. Hey. You bitch. You bitch. Scary ass, dumb ass, stupid ass bitch.
Oh my God.
You are rallying your best out here, I have to tell you.
One person commented 70% of Cuban Americans voted for Trump. And that reminds me of my taxi ride in Miami with a Cuban before the election, and he was telling me how fearful he was that Kamala Harris was going to get elected. And he told me that if she did, the US was done. So this girl seemingly is an advocate for illegal immigration, and then she posted this video.
So yesterday it's like protest and whatnot, and today it is broken windows and whatnot. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was stolen. Just plain evil.
All in all, The thing that I find very confusing is why so many people, including Americans, believe that the United States is supposed to be the fairy godmother for all. And they say things like, oh, they just want a better life. Well, I'm sure many people around the world in many different countries would have a better life here. However, if we let everybody in, then nobody is going to have a good life. We need to give from our abundance. We'll be a safer and more prosperous place when the United States puts itself first, because we can only help other people when we have been helped first. It is the reason why they tell you to put your mask on first in an emergency on an aircraft. So that's why it just confuses me when people in Denver, Colorado are screaming at our law enforcement.
They think they can go door to door, building to building, block to block. They think they can make us be silent. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
Okay. Well, it started with...
Maybe don't fight back. That is some really bad advice that is going to get someone in trouble.
A message in our tenant chat group. I got a message from my neighbor saying that cops were going from door to door. And then we figured out it was ICE. And about 5 minutes later, I got a knock on my own door. About 6 heavily armed officers demanding an ID.
This is who the guy in the first video is going up against, and he really thinks that he's tough. These guys look awesome.
We're very scared. We're heartbroken. It's a very sad thing to see. And it's also very scary to see all of this surrounding your home. I was in my home. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I answered the door. They said, we need an ID. Like, okay, what for? Clearly, I'm not what you're looking for. And then I gave them an ID so they would move on, and they asked me to tattle on my neighbors, which I didn't do. It's insulting and infuriating because I would never snitch on my neighbors. They're mostly families. That's it. I mean, they're families. They work. They come home. They have kids who play. Like, it gets a little loud and rowdy at some point, but they're just people.
I wonder if she still knows that they can go to work, come home, their kids can play outside in Latin America. Why do people see all of Latin America as this dark and sad place? I mean, you see all of these protesters bragging about the dances and the food and all of these places that they can visit and the beaches. Here we have another video showing the presence of ICE in Denver.
Love all this. Homeland Security on the one end, armored vehicles on the other.
Wow.
Been checking people's cars all day.
Wow.
This is awesome. I love this. I love all this.
I second everything she said because it is so impressive and exciting to see them doing their jobs and helping keep our communities safe and ordered and making sure that our country is following our laws. America's youth and some illegals' children act all gangster, not knowing that that could send them to Guantanamo Bay one day. The naivety of some young Latinos living in America reminds me of this story of a girl named Michaela and Melissa Reed, who are Scottish girls. Her and her friend were partying in Amsterdam with some guys, and they were high. They convinced them to fly to Peru. They had no idea where it was. They went to Peru, went to Cusco and everything, and really thought that it was a good idea to try to bring 24 pounds of cocaine to the Lima airport. And then she was sentenced with 15 years in prison in Peru. They did give her a shorter sentence for being so young and naive. However, it definitely does remind me of how a lot of Americans are, because we are very sheltered, and a lot of times we don't understand what the rest of the world is like and how many times people will try to take advantage of you, like many illegal immigrants immigrants who have come to the US have. These Indian students burned some doll that looks like Trump. Now, whether you're for Trump or not, they are doing this to the president of your country. If that doesn't seem like an attack or a threat to your entire country, no matter who you are, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I feel like this didn't used to be stuff that we would see happen in our country. If we ever saw a video like this, it was coming from the Middle East somewhere, and we're like, oh, that must really suck to have that happening on your streets. And guess what? The Biden administration brought it to our streets, and thankfully Trump is sending them back. This guy, James, echoes many Americans' feelings right now. He says that them waving their flags, blocking traffic, only solidifies our determination to deport in masses. And I totally agree with that. There's a time and a place, and this is neither the time nor the place for you to break out a dance. I'm making a whole other video of 13 shocking ways that the US has been spending our tax money, like, for example, $27 million spent for illegals on these little kits. It is actually ridiculous, and it seems like they had a lot of incentive to bring more illegals into our country, because this is definitely not what Americans want happening with their tax money. Here you have a Honduras guy who is surrounded by ICE, but is not opening the door for them, and instead he is trying to go viral on TikTok.
Estamos rodeados, como pueden ver, aquí, adentro de la casa. Miren, ¿cuántos hay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ¿Cuántos policías? Estamos rodeados, señores, hoy sí. Ahí les vamos a estar haciendo videos de nuestro país. Como pueden ver, estamos rodeados.
Why is he acting so proud of this?
Estamos rodeados, señores. Miren, no les estoy mintiendo. Así que, sin miedo al éxito, señores. Ahorita, como pueden ver, hoy sí, como dijo aquel, nos cayó la policía. Pues ni modo, los venían, creo, ya atrás. Venimos llegando de trabajar hace como 2 minutos. Yo estaba en el baño, hasta se me fueron las ganas ya. Ni modo, señores, miren. Así que, hoy sí dijo aquel, esos que me estaban deseando el mal. Pues ni modo, me acaba de quitar yo mis zapatos, como pueden ver, ando en calcetas de trabajo. Miren, miren cómo ando allá afuera. Así que ahí le estamos haciendo otro video, se lo dan chance. Saludos y bendiciones para todos, señores.
I mean, the way that he recorded this video is incredibly entitled, because he's not worried at all. He doesn't care that he's being a disruption and that our government is spending money to send out police there to look for him. He is so entitled that he is just like, oh, well, I'm just going to sit on the couch. I guess I'm not going to work today. Also, he doesn't really seem that worried to be sent back to Honduras. Otherwise, he would be crying and freaking out for his life, right? Because that's why people are coming to the US, because they need protection, they need help. No, they just want to be here because they can, because they've been allowed in. This post is pretty strange. It says that a non-student was arrested in East Los Angeles. And what does it mean to be a non-student? It's kind of like from Mean Girls when they say, he doesn't even go here. Like, what was he doing inside of that classroom?
All right. You okay? Yeah, good. It's in here. You don't want to teach. Not enrolled in the class. You just want to bullshit around. He's threatening me. I'm not even threatening him. I told him I want to learn something, and he stops class. I thought today was the first day of school. I got the wrong number, and I'm like, well, let me come to my class. What's your name? Eric. For what? Because he doesn't want you here. Well, I don't give a fuck. He could leave. Listen, if you don't leave.
He should go back to Europe, because that's always their argument.
I'm not going to leave. You're going to be arrested. I'll be arrested then.
Spraying them like a dog.
If you guys are gonna arrest me, you guys are gonna arrest me up here. Okay, I'm gonna put you back.
Oh no, oh no. This is gonna be bad.
No, fuck no. Yes. I don't give a fuck. You're the one arresting me. Well, take me. No. Don't give a fuck. What's up? What's up, dog? What's up, dog? What's up, homie? What's up? Get down there, homie. Hey! Leave here! Leave up!
Back up.
Get up.
Back up.
Oh man, that was really bad. That was really, 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 really bad. So on this post, everybody was talking about how his partner didn't jump in to help him, which yes, it is pretty weird, but please, let's not take away from the point of what is happening in this video. This guy was harassing a teacher. He wasn't supposed to be in the classroom. He wasn't supposed to be in the country either. I mean, the entitlement is actually crazy to continuously go places where you are literally not supposed to be and then fight for your right that you do not have. I mean, the entitlement is just so crazy. I don't understand how a lot of Americans look at this and they're like, let him stay in the classroom, let him stay in the country. It's so inhumane to send him back when he is literally disrupting just normal everyday Americans from their class. One of the biggest problems with these gigantic invasions is that it changes the entire country. It will never be the same. The standard of living drops down to the floor. The culture is not the same. The language is not the same. The mentality, the way of working, the way of thinking, everything is completely different. And in this case, it is not for the better. And you would think that Americans would want themselves and generations to come to have a good standard of living and to be able to afford a home, have a good job, and have all the things that our grandparents did. It just seems like there's this new ideology that it is not okay for Americans to be wealthy and everybody else to be poor. So therefore, the entire world needs to be poor because the inequality, it's just not fair. So instead, we need to lower our standards. That's basically the mentality that I see in people who are for this type of illegal immigration. Also in recent news, Donald Trump said that he is removing illegals from Social Security. Little by little, we are taking our country back. And I am so happy about that. Please triple check that you guys are subscribed. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.